count between 8 and 6 marks. Then you can look at what is the advantage of a planned economy. What is the advantage if a government changed from a planned economy to a mixed economy, like Cuba have done a few years ago? What advantages will they experience? And then define, for example, what is privatization that you can do, or nationalization for 2 marks. And then another question which you can be test your students on is what is social cost. Say if a hotel, like I've mentioned, is built in a botanical garden or in a protected area. And then the last question that I have here is, which you can also ask, is features of a mixed economy. Here is a lot of questions. That is not the only ones, but that is questions that you can use in an exam or a test.
Right, grade 11s, let's continue now with our functions. So the first one is sine theta, which is opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite hypotenuse. The next one, adjacent and hypotenuse. So cosine theta is adjacent over hypotenuse. And then the third one, still theta, opposite and adjacent. Tan theta is opposite over adjacent. SOHCAHTOA. This is what you need to know. This works in a right-angled triangle. It works in a right-angled triangle. Okay, so we're looking now at try now 11. Try now 11 on page 447. Try now 11. Find the value of the unknown in each of the following right-angle triangles. So the question is, which function, which method are we going to use? So the first one, if you look there, I would say it is the sine function. Sine theta is opposite over hypotenuse. Then I substitute sine 44 is equal to 7 over k. Now this time we want to find the hypotenuse. And now we're going to say bottom divide. So these two swap places. So k is equal to 7 over sine 44. So which method now? Divide. Bottom divide. So 7 divide by sine 44 is equal to, and I have 10.1, rounding to 3 significant figures. Number B, which function? Cosine. So cosine theta is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. Substitute. So cosine 36 degrees is then equal to 11 over n. Can you see that it's the included angle? Which method? Bottom divide. 11 divide by cosine 36. On your calculator, 11 divide by cosine 36 is equal to 13.6. 13.6. Number C. Which function? Tan. Tan theta is opposite over adjacent. If we substitute now, tan 40 degrees is equal to, look at the angle. This one is opposite, the 200, and this one is adjacent M. Which method now? Bottom divide. Bottom divide. So 200 divide by tan 40. 200 divide by tan 40 degrees is equal to 238. 238. Number D. Which function? Sine. So sine 36 is equal to 17 over P. Which method? Bottom divide. So P is equal to 17 divided by sine 36. So 17 divided by sine 36 is equal to 28.9. 28.9. Number E. Which function? What would you say? Sine. So sine theta is opposite over hypotenuse. Substitute. Sine 25 is equal to 12 over x. How do I get the bottom one? Bottom divide. So x is equal to 12 divided by sine 25. So 12 divided by sine 25 is equal to 28.4. 28.4. Number G. Which function? No. First number F. Sorry, number F. Which function? It will again be tan. Tan theta is opposite over adjacent. So tan 60 degrees is equal to 9 over y. How do I get the bottom one? Which method? Bottom divide. So 9 divided by tan 60. 9 divided by tan 60. 9 divided by tan 60 is equal to 5.20. Look at the rounding every time. 3 significant figures. 3 significant figures. Now it's number G. Which function? Sine. Sine theta is opposite over adjacent. Substitute. Sine 28 is equal to 6 over z. Which method? Bottom divide. So it's 6 divided by sine 28 and 6 divided by sine 28 is equal to 12.8. 12.8. And the very last one there on that exercise, number H, which function? And that one will again be tan. So tan theta is opposite over adjacent. The sides tell me what to choose. Substitute. Tan 61 is equal. Now look, the 7 is opposite the adjacent. Which method? Bottom divide. So 7 divide by tan 61. 7 divide by tan 61 is equal to 3.88. 3.88. Right, now at number 2, you have a mixed exercise now where you must decide every time, is it sine, cosine, or tan? Which function are we using now there? So it's every time the decision. Which function, which method? So number 2 now, it's still part of that try now 11 that we are busy with. Find the values of the unknown in each of the right-angled triangles. The lengths are in centimeters there. So if we look at the first one, which function will it be? Tan. So tan 12, tan 51 is equal to A over 12, opposite over adjacent. Which method? Top times. So A is equal to, I'm going to multiply them now, 12 times tan 51 is equal to 14.8. 14.8. The next one, number B. Which function? Cosine. So cosine 29 is equal to 25 over B. Which method now? Bottom divide. Third side, can you see that this time it's going to be Pythagoras, 7 squared plus 8 squared. Now the third side is still Pythagoras. We can get those questions. So it will then be 7 squared plus 8 squared. And my answer is 10.6. 10.6. Number E. You must please try them on your own. Don't just write it off here, then it won't help you. Which function? Cosine 49 is equal to 15 over E. Cosine function. Which method? Bottom divide. Bottom divide. So 15 divided by cosine 49 is equal to 22.9. 22.9. Number F. There it's again Pythagoras, so it will be 25 squared minus 10 squared. So 25 squared minus 10 squared is equal to 22.9. 22.9. Number G. Again, it's Pythagoras. So 7 squared minus 6 squared. We've been looking at that now. By now, this should be very easy for you. 7 squared minus 6 squared is equal to 3.61. Number H. Which function there? Cosine. So cosine 44 is equal to H over 7. Which method? Top times. Top times. So 7 times cosine 44 is equal to 5.04. I. Which function? This time it's sine. Sine 37.3 is equal to I over 8. I over 8. Which method? Top times. So 8 times sine 37.7 is equal to 4.89. 4.89. Right, the next one is J. Which function there? It's again Pythagoras that you will do there. So it is then 8, the square root of 8.5 squared plus 6.5 squared close. Okay. I didn't put brackets in, so I'll have to redo it now. 8.5 squared plus 6.5 squared close is equal to, you need to use those brackets, 10.7. Now IJK, which function for K? Cosine. Can you see that included angle? So cosine 63.2 is equal to 8 over K. Now, which method? Bottom divide. So now we're going to say 8 divide by cosine 63.2 is equal to 17.7. 17.7. L, which function now? Tan. So tan 72 is equal to L over 5. Which method? Top times. Top times. So it's 5 times tan 72 is equal to 15.4. 15.4. M is again Pythagorean. We'll subtract this time. So it's 130 squared minus 120 squared, close the bracket, is equal to 50. Then N, which function now? Which function would you say? I would say it's sine again, sine 52, which is equal to 13 over N. Which method? Bottom divide. So 13 divided by sine 52 is equal to 16.5. 16.5. And O, the last one then there, which function will we use? Tan. So tan 38 is equal to 9 over O. Which method? Bottom divide. 9 divided by tan 38 is equal to 11.5. So this is now a very nice mixed exercise on this. At try now 11, you will see there you have some word sums that you can do. So I would like you to look at them also. Try now 12. And now we're going to look at the last one where we find the angles. To find the angles. So I'm busy now with try now 14, page 451, to find the angle. So it's still the same thing. First we find the top one, then we find the bottom one, and this time we're going to find the angle. So you've got two sides there. So we're basically going to do it in the same way. It's just that we have to find an angle now and not the side. So again, my question is which function? This is opposite, this is adjacent, so it is the tan function. Tan theta is opposite over adjacent. Substitute tan theta, this is what I want to calculate now, the angle, and it is then 6 over 8. Now to find theta, the angle, we have to use the second function button on our calculator. So you're going to press now shift tan. So I repeat, second function tan, the brackets is equal to divided by a 60 close the bracket, 7 is equal to degrees. This is degrees now every time. Number C looks like this, 12, 16, C. Which function are you going to use now? Which function? So we can look here, this is the opposite and the hypotenuse, sorry. So that is the sine function. So sine C is 12 over 16. To find the angle, so we press now shift, sine, brackets, 12, divide by 16, close the bracket, is equal to 48.6 degrees. Question D. It looks like this. There's D, 11, and 12. Which function will we have this time? Look at the marked angle. This is opposite, this is adjacent, so this is tan. Tan theta is opposite over adjacent. So tan theta now, or D, is equal to 12 over 11. Second function tan to find the angle. So we press second function tan, brackets 12, divide by 11, close the bracket, is equal to, and I got 47.5 degrees. Degrees there. Number E, This time it looks like this. 8 and 17. This is E. So let's first look at the angles. This one is opposite. This one is the hypotenuse. No, sorry, this one is not the hypotenuse. Here's the 90-degree angle here. So this one will be adjacent. So it's again tan. So tan E is equal to opposite over adjacent. So E is second function tan. So we press second function tan, brackets, 8 divided by 17, close, is equal to 25.2 degrees. And the very last one, number F, there you are, 12.3, this is F, and 26.4. Which function will we use? This one is again opposite. This is the hypotenuse. So sine F is then equal to 12.3 over 26.4. We want the angle, that's why we use second function sine this time, and it is then 12.3 divided by 26.4, close the calculator, is equal to 27.8 degrees. So now we've looked at all the different methods that we have.
ShopRite has always been here for you, and our promise to bring you low prices on what you need most will never change. Get an essential food hamper that includes Sugar King white sugar, Top Score instant porridge, Top Score maize meal, Rice King parboiled rice, Bakery brown or white bread, Right Brand sunflower oil, Clover Numel dairy blend, Polana spaghetti, Romi low-fat spread, and Imana regular soup. All 10 for just $110. Only at ShopRite. One stop, one safer shop.
You can feel it in the air, you can feel it in your heart. Feel the rush of August's thrilling shows on GoTV. You may want to know more about your neighbors after watching Nightmare Next Door. There's no telling what's out there once you upgrade to GoTV Plus.
Hey, that is cool.
And there's still romance in the surgery room. Stay connected or upgrade to GoTV Plus or GoTV Max for access to electrifying shows. We are hair-raising entertainment. GoTV. Live it. Love it.
We always love to hear from you. Send us your views, comments, and videos with your name and town to the One Africa TV's WhatsApp on 081 200 6659 or send an SMS to 555. One Africa TV. It just gets better.
My name is Adora, and welcome to a brand new edition of the cool new show called The Ain't Like a Vibe. On this show, we get to know who our artists really are behind the scenes and what inspires them, what keeps them going, what makes them tick. What are some of your favorite sounds?
Trap music, hip-hop.
Yeah? Okay.
Hip-hop, Afro dancehall.
We came from a background whereby we were raised by our grannies. So it's not the shameful thing for me to do, because we used to sell and said Lemune Haferkoka. We'd work from Fambolokasi to Okuriangala.
Wala Namibia, this is your boy Tulisan. Don't forget to watch the Ain't Like a Vibe TV show on One Africa Television.
Francis, Namibia, Ice, Didage Sister Huldan Navasida, Didage I Ho out. Namibia Oncology Center, Naragrasisen, I come from T Quido, Bounce I Hari, Omsnahari, Oma Badang Nahure, Nugu said again ha ugu, Habe I get off Nugu said aga ha ugu habe. Hang are uguha. Hoge bounce I hari. Ida tadi nedi 2019 novel coronavirus sting higusa. Au bounce I hari.
On trigonometry, trigonometry number 4, it is still right angle triangles. This is the background knowledge that you need to know now. In a right angle triangle, this is the opposite side, opposite the marked angle. This one is adjacent, next to, and the hypotenuse is always opposite the 90 degrees. You need to understand that. So sine theta is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine theta is that included angle, easy to identify. And tan theta is opposite over adjacent, where no hypotenuse is involved. So we're going to ask ourselves two questions. Which function, which method? And now we're looking at the methods, and that is top times, bottom divide, angle second function. That's what we're going to do. Right, so we're looking now at try now 16 on page 453, and this is a very nice mixed exercise now on right angle triangles. Right, so the first one, the picture looks like this, and 27 degrees, 100, and we have to find BC first. They give you that hint also because you don't have enough information in this triangle here. So this is BC. The question is, which function will I use? Start with the angle and look which sides do you have. That one is opposite and that one is hypotenuse. So this one will be sine 27 is equal to BC over 100. Which method? Top times, so you will multiply there, and I got 45.399. Do not round off now. Go for 5 significant figures. In your final answer, you will round off. Otherwise, we have too many mistakes. Now we go to this one. We want to find D. Which two sides do you have from the angle? This is the opposite, and this is the hypotenuse, so it will be sine again. So sine D is equal to, now I use that unrounded information, over 85. Which method? Angle second function, so D is equal to, and I got 32.3 degrees. Angles are rounded to 1 decimal place, unless they say something else. Right, the next one, this is actually number B now. So there's again, every time here we have 2 right angle triangles, 5, 7, 6. So we have to find D, and D is actually this whole angle there. But we'll have to find separately those 2 angles. So the question is, which function are we going to use? Included angles, so it is cosine. So cosine theta is then equal to 5 over 7, adjacent over the hypotenuse. Second function cosine, and then I got that theta is equal to 44.415 degrees. Now we go over to this one. It's also that included angle. It will again be cosine theta, but this time it's 6 over, no, it will be 5 over 6. Because this is your hypotenuse then there, in this case now here. Second function cosine theta is 33.55 degrees. If I add my 2 to get that big angle there, I can say that angle D is 78 degrees, rounding to 1 decimal place. Right. Question 2. It's again a right angle triangle, and then a second one, 60, 3, 7, and the whole side here is 8. Now, we want to calculate AD, this one here now. So, which function? Let your eyes go to the angle. I work from there. It means this is adjacent, and this is the hypotenuse there, because there's the 90 degrees. So, cosine, the included angle. So, cosine 60 degrees is then equal to AD over 2.3. Which method? Top times, we'll just multiply there, and then we get 1.5 meters there. Right, question B. Now, we need to find DC now here. We know this whole one is 8. That one is 1.5. So the answer is 6.5. That's very easy. And then we go to number C. Now you have to find angle C. So this is now in this triangle. We know this is 6.5. Again, which function? Cosine. It's the included angle there. So cosine C is equal to 6.5 over 7. Second function cosine. Some calculators you have to use extra brackets there. And my answer is 21.8 degrees. 21.8 degrees. Right, question 3. So we've got that pole there in the middle. There's a triangle and there's a triangle. 8, 7, 54, and 5. Okay, so AB and PQ are 2 taut wires and supported by those vertical pole lines. A is 7 meters apart from F here, the foot, and we have to calculate BAF. So this is the angle that we need to find now here, this angle here. Which function will you use? Cosine. So cosine A is then equal to 7 over 8. Which method? Angles, second function. So A is equal to, and I got 29 degrees there. 29 degrees. Then at number B, now they say the length of the wire PQ is 5 meters and the angle 54. This is what we have here. Calculate PG, the height of the pole above the ground. So this is what we want to calculate now here. Again, which function will we use now here to get PG? So I start here, and this is opposite. This is the hypotenuse, so it will be the sine function. So sine 54 is equal to, is it PG over 5? Which method? Top times. So that means PG is going to be, and if I multiply the two, I get 4.05. Then the last part, number C, the width of the pole is 0.35. Calculate the distance between A and Q. So now we know that this one is 7. So we already have that 7 plus. We know that this part here is 0.35. And what we need to calculate is GQ. This is what we don't have now here, that part there. How will we do that? Cosine, it's the included angle here. So cosine 54 is then equal to GQ over 5. Which method? Top times, and I got there 2 plus 2.932. Our answer here is 2.932. If we add everything then there, my final answer is 10.3. And the last question there, as I say, a very nice mixed exercise. Make sure that you understand it, because from here we're now going to move to further trigonometry there. Right. There we've got BCD. This one is 4, 6.4, 10, and 47 degrees. This angle is actually the 90 degrees there. Okay, the first one that we have to calculate now is AE. So we are working now here in this triangle. You can see there's 3 right angle triangles. This is where we start. Okay, we have to find the angle. First we have to find AE, the side AE. So which function will we use? If we look now here, I would say cosine. So cosine 47 is then equal to AE. AE is adjacent there over 10, the hypotenuse. Which method? Top times. So AE is equal to 6.82. Then the second one, angle ADC. Angle ADC, which is now this one that we're looking at there, ADC. We started the angle. What is this? The opposite. This is the hypotenuse. So which function will you choose? Sine. So sine D is then 6.4 over 10. Which method? Second function, sine. Again, use brackets there, and I got 39.8 degrees. 39.8 degrees. And then the last one is ABC. So now we want this angle here. Which function? Again, from the angle, this is the opposite, this is the adjacent. So I would choose tan. Tan B is then equal to 4 over 6.4. Which method? Second function tan. And B is then equal to 58 degrees. 58 degrees. Right, grade 11s. So now we move over to a new thing, which is angles of elevation and depression. Angles of elevation. Elevation like elevator, depression, down. Just to identify them. So, if we draw it here, this is the angle of elevation, and this is the angle of depression. The angle of elevation and the angle of depression. And this is parallel lines. So we also have alternating angles here. So the depression angle and the elevation angle in this case are going to be equal, because we must make sure that they are inside the triangle. Now this is what we have on page 454. And we're going to look now at try now 17 on page 454. Right, I'll explain this first one. So there's a pole. The flagpole PZ is 10 meters high, so that one is 10. These X, P, and Y are on level ground. From Y, the angle of elevation to Z is 32, so that one is going to be 32 degrees. And then from X, the angle of elevation is 50 degrees. Elevation upwards there. And now we want to find the distance here between X, Y. So that means we actually need to find XP and PY. That is what we want to find. So it's still a right angle triangle. It works the same there. So which function will I use here to calculate XP? And I would say tan. So tan 50 degrees is then equal to XP over 10. This is opposite, this is adjacent. So which method? Top times 10 times tan 50, and I got 8.39. 8.39. Now if we look here, we're also going to use tan. So tan 32 is equal to PY over 10. Which method? Top times. So PY is going to be 10 times tan 32, which is 16. If we add the 2 now there, the final answer is 24.4. So angles of elevation and depression works exactly the same. You must first now try now 18 before you listen to the recording. Page 455. Page 455. Right, so let's look at the first one there. Okay, a boy is flying a kite with a string, and this is 60 meters on that piece of string. If the string is dealt, the angle of depression from the kite is 71 degrees. Now, the angle of depression from the kite is 71 degrees. So from the kite, that means that is the angle of depression because it's eye level downwards. How high is the kite above the ground? So this is what we need to calculate. Ignore the height of the boy. Now, this is what we're saying now. This 71 is now not inside my triangle, and I need to work in the right angle triangle. But these two angles are alternating. So this one is also 71. Just be careful. This is not 71 degrees. There's your angle of depression, eye level downwards, and it alternates now here. So this one is 71 degrees. Now we can ask which function. This is opposite, this is hypotenuse, so it will be sine. So sine 71 is equal to the height then over 60. Which method? Top times 60 times sine 71, and I got 56.7 meters. The second one there, question 2. So again, you get that right angle triangle. A point A on the ground is 100 meters from the building. So there's the 100 meters. The angle of elevation up, that one is 39 degrees. And we have to calculate the height of the building. Which method? Tan. So tan 39 is equal to opposite over 100. Which method? Top times. And the answer is 81 meters. 81 meters.
Scrub with soap, wash your hands. Front and back, wash your hands. To be clean and safe. Wash your hands, wash your hands. Before you eat your breakfast. Before you eat your lunch. Before you eat your dinner. Before you start to munch. After using the toilet. After you sneeze or cough. After you touch animals. To wash all the germs off. Wash your hands! Water, water, wash your hands. Scrub with soap, wash your hands. Front and back, wash your hands. To be clean and safe.
On the Gold Coast of West Africa lies the peaceful and diverse nation of Ghana. I'm pretty close right now to the geographical center of the Earth. It is also one of the last pockets for elephants in the wilds of West Africa.
You know, every country in the world just about has cattle, sheep, goats, horses, donkeys. But it's only Africa that has the real megafauna, the charismatic stuff which people in the rest of the world want to see.
The passion that the staff have for the job. There's value to a bird which brings birders to a place like this. I mean, this is a birding paradise. We see an intrinsic appreciation and joy from seeing the wildlife out here, but not everybody does.
You can't get to Moli and then will not be passionate about what we do, because you'll be the only one left. Everybody is passionate.
The only worthwhile war, the war against destruction, the war against loss, the war for peace, for balance, for inclusion.
It is out of my way. Buffaloes, elephants, tigers, atabi are still in existence.
If Mole fails, then Ghana is without wildlife.
Join me as we journey to the untamed wilderness of northern Ghana to meet these last defenders.
The people within the law enforcement agencies don't really know you're talking about a roan antelope. Somebody thinks it's just like a goat.
We know the world is a crazy place right now. But don't panic. Take a breath. Slow down. Or better yet, stop completely. We'll still be here when everything settles down. In this time of uncertainty, look to nature. She has all the answers, you know. We're not only giving ourselves time to reset, we're giving nature time to restore, revive, restart. We're saving ourselves and we're saving the world. Stay home now, so that we can welcome you to Namibia again soon. Yes, the world's a crazy place right now, but don't despair. Find the joy, cherish hope, breathe. Take a moment, take a few, and someday soon you'll once again be able to stare in wonder at this magnificent view. The world's a crazy place right now, but don't worry, we'll still be here. We'll see you again soon.
The mighty Zambezi River, the longest east-flowing river in Africa, a river that flows through 6 countries, home to a plethora of wild species of fauna and flora, a lifeline for many people whose livelihoods are dependent on the abundance the river brings. Globally, communities who live along rivers rely on these rivers to survive. Communities living along the Zambezi call it the river of life, bringing water for their crops and fish as their main protein source. In Namibia, a country situated in sub-Saharan Africa, the Zambezi River sits at the heart of Kaza, the Kavango-Zambezi Trans-Frontier Conservation Area, which is one of the greatest conservation areas on Earth, a stronghold for very many of our most iconic wildlife.
I'm right now where the river forms the border between Namibia and Zambia. This enormous water body provides sustenance to a wide array of wildlife, bird and fish species. It's also a lifeline for human beings.
The same communities are the people also who are doing the illegal activities.
The price of fishing has gone up because fish has become scarce.
The more they finish this, the more our life gets harder and harder.
These days, it is very rare to get a big bream unless in those protected areas.
A small group of community members, together with non-governmental organizations like Namibian Nature Foundation, are fighting back.
We have to start thinking out of the box, to be honest, because what's going to happen is going to be out of this box that we haven't seen before.
By creating protected areas, monitoring and patrolling, fish stocks have a chance at recovery. These are the stories of the people fighting for the continued existence of their communities. These are the last defenders.
Struggling with no food, no what. But we didn't stop. If I don't do it, our young children, they'll never know the fish.